Finished the comedy festival. Last night was the last show. Fuck, it was good. It was just a great show. I was on fire. The crowd was hot. It was just good. And also, really, it was my first run of shows just being completely healthy. Not even with braces. Used to bleed after every show because, I'd be yelling for an hour, sometimes an hour and a half if I was really feeling it. And just all that rubbing on the teeth and making facial expressions and all that, it cuts you up. So this was the first show I've done where my brain works, which isn't really new anymore, but also where my face doesn't hurt. And it was just good. And now I'm in the city the next day, because whenever I do a good job at the festival, I kind of like to go out and buy a comic. That's my thing. Whenever I do a show and it goes well, I buy a comic. Because I've always been into them. And today I went down to All Star Comics and I got Watchmen for the first time, which I know I should have already have read because it's like the comic, but I never got around to it. I think I've watched the movie, but I didn't really absorb it. I was young. So I think, it's a pretty good opportunity to read it now. Man, woman over there is singing opera and it is beautiful. I don't know if you can hear, but it's at like a tea house in there and she's such an amazing singer. What is it? Colin's Coffee House. She's such a beautiful singer that I just wanted to go in there and sit and have a coffee and listen. But it's like $60 minimum, 6-course fucking bullshit. Probably a bit rude to go in there by yourself. So I'm just kind of standing out here listening, and every time the automatic door opens, you get like a glimpse of an angel's voice. Anyway, this street, Queen Street, I used to work here. I used to work in a call center called More Media, and it was such a funny job that I had. It was commission-only sales. And I'm going to walk past it, I'll show you. This is where I came from, commission-only sales. That means you'd be calling businesses, and I was trying to sell advertisements in pamphlets and local flyers and stuff like that. So you're calling small businesses and you're pitching them on advertising. And if you made a sale was $440 and you got to keep $120 of it or something like that. But sometimes, you could do the upgraded package and you could sell something for $3,000 and you would get to keep about $1,000 or something like that was kind of the ratio. You get to keep about a quarter of it. And, it was commission only. I think it was just this building here. Oh, fuck, it's still in there actually. It was commission only. So that meant you could go in, work 8 hours, make no sales, make no money. And that's tough. That was a sad day on the train home. But then other days, you'd go in, you'd make fucking $1,000, and then you just wouldn't have to come back in for a whole week, which was a good life balance kind of thing. So a lot of people were telling me I was getting scammed doing that job, but I liked it because it was really like, if I do a good job, I make a lot of money. And I rarely did a good job, but I still liked it. And that was kind of my first experience with like being surrounded by people like so much more skilled than you. That's something that I wanted to get good at. And it taught me so much, like doing sales, any young person, guy or girl, if you really want to earn some resilience and perseverance and also really just fucking level up your social skills, your ability to market, not just yourself, but fucking anything. An entry-level sales job is so good for you. Even if you only do it for 6 months, you learn so much about just how to talk to people, about how to market things, about how to convince someone that you're correct, about how to de-escalate things, because every now and then, you'd call some guy and he'd be fucking screaming at you. I don't know, I love that job. So many people really, really hated it, and it was a very difficult job, and at times it did get frustrating, but the whole time it was super positive because you were just surrounded by dudes. Like, you know, if I made one sale a day, that'd be about 120 bucks, which was good money back in like 2014. It was good money. If I made one sale a day, I would be really happy. If I made two, I would be over the moon, because, you know, some days I would make like 4 sales and then I just wouldn't come into work for the rest of the week and focus on comedy. It was a really good flexible job because you're not getting paid an hourly rate. So they kind of didn't give a fuck when you came in and when you didn't, as long as you were respectful and did a good job when you were there. They didn't care, you know, because if you don't make any sales, they don't have to pay you either. If you do make sales, they make money too. So I would do that job and I would come in like, you know, two to 5 days a week, depending on how much money I was making and how much money I needed. And every day I was surrounded by like 40, 50-year-old dudes that were just insane salesmen. And everyone had a whiteboard. Well, we had a communal whiteboard. And I'm just remembering, every time you made a sale, you'd walk up and you write it down on the whiteboard. And bro, there were guys there every single day that were making $3,000 a day in sales, and like one-to-one, like on the phone, exactly the same job as me. They were just better at it. They just had a little bit more connections. They had some regulars from doing it over a period of a couple decades, you know. They were just good. They were the senseis, and they were really helpful. They were really happy to help and teach the younger people. Like, I remember my manager was a guy called Ryan, really good guy, and he was a freak at sales too. I bet he still works there, just fucking pumping money. And one day he just brings in, he goes, I reckon this type of franchise is gonna be really keen to do this type of advertising. So we got this list of every one of those franchises in the country, and he gave a third of the list, not half, a third of the list to me. And he went, call all of these people, tell them this, and say these things. And I listened to him do it a few times, and he was just making heaps of money. And then I called them, and dude, I made like $1,500 that day. And he probably, with the numbers that I called, would have made like $5,000, but he gave them to me to help me get better and help me make some extra money. And it was just, I don't know, it was like one of the only jobs that I had that I quite liked, because I worked in call centers for a long time and I hated all of them, but I never had a bad day at More Media. And yeah, it's the like skills that I got to keep for my whole life, of sales, of communicating to people, of, you know, telling people why they should work with you, all that stuff. You just keep it forever. And even just the ability to fucking cold call someone, just pick a number out of the phone book or an online directory, dial the number and be like, hey mate, I'm Lewis, here's what I can do for you, here's why I think you can benefit from this, and here's how we can benefit from it, and just like calling a stranger and convincing them that they should work with you and trust you. It's such a essential skill in life. So anyway, just walking down that road, going to buy a comic book with money that I made from comedy, it just makes me feel very, very, very grateful that I can do that, you know, that I don't have to work there anymore. As much as I loved it, I don't have to work there anymore. I haven't had like a job since 2014. That's 10 years, no job. This was my 10th comedy festival. Fuck, I didn't even talk about that on stage or online. I need to talk about that. That's a huge milestone. Well, actually, it's not my 10th. Actually, I think it is. I'm trying to think, maybe COVID would have... Nah, I had to cancel one because of COVID. So that was my 9th. It would have been my 10th. I'll have to do the math on it. Anyway, doesn't matter. Today, I'm just doing a solo wandering around day. I had a look at Minotaur Comics, and then I just went to All Star Comics, which is my favorite one in the city. I'm gonna stop off for some food. We're gonna get a sort of like a fancy coffee place and a cool like Japanese joint. we'll get some food, and then I'm going to go to Comics R Us in Chapel Street, which is my favourite place. I've been going there since I got my job at the butcher when I was like 15. So that would have been like 2008 or 9. Fuck. So I love going there, and we'll pick something up there as well. And that'll be the day. That'll be the vlog. Our little quiet celebration, because I get very overwhelmed like after the shows, because it's so much excitement and energy, and then meeting everyone after the shows as well can be very like socially exhausting for me. So every time I do a show, I like to just wander by myself and kind of think about the show, appreciate that I get to do it at all, and have a day to myself. So that's what we're doing today. Let's get coffee and some food. All right, I'm back home, or well, back at my parents' place. I'm on the single bed that is really just here for whenever I do a gig. I crash here usually because it's just easier than getting all the way back to Frankston at night time. Went to Walker's Donuts in the city, and I got, I don't know what it is, strawberry and cream donut and another coffee. Because I'm an animal. Dude, I went to this place. I didn't vlog it because I was kind of just focusing on the place that was Interesting Cafe. I went to this place called, it was Bench Coffee. There were no chairs in it. It was just like chest high benches in there, and everyone there was just having coffee and walking out. It was. I went in there and I paid fucking $6 for a cappuccino. I was like, that's bullshit expensive. That's crazy. Anyway, best coffee I've ever had. It was amazing. I wish I kind of filmed my reaction to it. My mind was blown. After that, I'm going with a coffee from a donut shop, so that'll be horrible. But the donuts are good, so. Man, that's awesome. But what's even crazier is, look at this bite. Look at the shape of that. That's like the most perfect. Normally when I would bite into stuff, it would create the most ugly, deformed pattern because my teeth were so bad, my mouth was so small. I'm out here creating perfect U shapes. That's awesome. So I think that's it for today. Bit of a chill ending to the vlog. Just went into the city. I didn't do anything. I went to all the comic book shops. I didn't end up making it to Chapel Street because by the time I finished in the CBD, it was like 4 and they close at 5, so I wasn't going to make it. Because I went on a detour to check out one of the places called Comics R Us in the CBD. They closed, so that's annoying. But I probably wasn't going to get anything anyway. I got Watchmen. I reckon I'm just going to have my donut, have my coffee, read it. And then if I have enough energy, I might go home, or I might stay here and get up early and go home. We'll see. But if you came out to the shows in Melbourne, thank you so much. Some of the most fun I've had on stage ever. Especially the last night. That one was just so good. I'm feeling really happy, and I'm feeling very accomplished, and like the next chapter is actually starting. Braces are off. There's no pain. It's all good. And Sydney is in May, so that's what I'm looking forward to next. Between now and then, I'm going to keep up with the vlogs, and I'm just going to try and conquer YouTube and put out all these stand-up clips and come back in a big way. So, yeah, talk to you soon.